It's time now to create those enterprises where those great business owners can have the most sophisticated capital partners and the most open strategic resources to be able to build billion-dollar businesses or, hundreds of millions dollars businesses.
I think you're really thinking in the future, Monika. I mean, I think you're seeing the inevitable coming down the pike that many people are blind to. I mean, just look at just the population numbers. It's just the truth. It's just what's happening. And there is a ton of potential. We don't want you to give away all of your secrets here today, but that I think is a big one, that there's this enormous potential out there that's so underserved.
And Marissa, one thing that I've been so glad to see this last 2 years, as difficult as they've been for the globe, for everyone, right, going through the pandemic in a very personal way, has changed the way we work, the way we visit with our families. So many important aspects of our world have changed, and so many losses have happened. But I also think that all of this and the events that we've had around racial inequities and injustices have actually opened a huge tsunami of opportunity. And we're witnessing right now an incredibly heightened interest from corporations that before we were sort of begging, and now they're like saying, no, come in, tell us, let's do this, let's do that. What should we do differently? What is that? So I love it that we're actually in a historical moment where there's more and more corporate executives, not only the heads of supplier diversity or the heads of diversity and inclusion, but the CEOs, the board members, making important questions and inviting us to be at the board to have the conversation, inviting us to have high-level conversations to create structural needs.
It's reminding me of our last conversation where you talked about collaboration as the key to success and how we can learn so much from each other if we work together. Can you elaborate on that? I know you've talked about that quite a lot already today, but tell us, why do you think collaboration is so critical?
Yes, I think that there is so little that we can do as human beings alone. Every big endeavor requires a group of people committed to, making a change, building a business. And it's all that, bringing people together that makes things happen, that changes the world.
In addition to being collaborative and honoring relationships, which seems very much to be your focus, you've mentioned that your credo is to be action-oriented, enthusiastic, and hopeful. Can you tell us more what that means to you?
So I think that with what I've shared, right, you get a sense of, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I wouldn't have a passion, right? So I think it's very important for people to say, what are you passionate about? What is because if you find what you're passionate about, you really, as Confucius would say, you won't work a day, right? It's so important to find what your passion is. And it not necessarily, when I talk to younger generations, right, there's sometimes like a concern about, but I don't know what it is. And I haven't found it. So what do I do? And I say, keep looking for it. Just keep looking and explore, experiment, right? So that you find whatever it is. And I also think that in that exploration, whether you're exploring or you found it, then committing to, okay, so what am I going to do about that? And not only saying, let's experiment on the sidelines, but really giving yourself to thinking bold, right? Thinking in big ideas. What is it that, to that quest that problem that you're trying to resolve, that passion you've developed, what would be the best possible model? Who would you need to rally? What capital would be needed, right? And I think that notion of not sitting on the sidelines, but actually seizing the moment, seizing the opportunities, I find it to be a very a great way to go about, our businesses and our life. And I also think that it has to do with the notion of failure, of saying, you know what, if you fail, it's okay, you learned. Now you know that that's not the road, now you can go somewhere else, right? I, like someone said that I love the notion of failure is not, it's not trying. That's what failure is. It's not trying. So So, just go for it, and go for it in the boldest and most ambitious way.
You mentioned your mentors. Can you tell us about them? And I know they said you should start your own business, but other than that, what was the best advice that you were given?
I remember when I was very young, had a fantastic mentor and boss, and I messed up with a project. And I thought I was going to get fired, right? Like there was a presentation that I had to put together. I delegated. I assumed it was right. It arrived to the table. It wasn't the right way. And then I got called to the meeting. And when he showed me the presentation, I was like, oh my, I'm going to get fired for this. And then I remember his answer saying, you know what? No, I'm not going to fire you, because I know that this will never happen to you again. So learn from your mistake, make sure it never happens again. And no, you're great. You're going to continue to work with me. And so I've always thought that mistakes and situations where we don't, the outcome is not what we expect, is always a very important moment to learn, right? So learning from our mistakes. I've remembered throughout my career when I'm mentoring someone, or when I've had a juncture of a difficult moment, that they're learning experiences, and I have always kept that as a very important moment.
But is there advice you would specifically give to women who are navigating their way towards leadership roles?
We as women have to be, and in our industry, I am very committed and welcome every woman, whether you're a lawyer or a partner in a firm, or in any role in the private equity and private debt world. You might be an accountant, a broker, investment banker, that we are very attentive to helping each other. Let's do a groups of deals together. Let's think about other women that can come as co-investors. Let's think about women lawyers, women accountants. And I think that building that camaraderie and that leaning in for each other is important. And if we all commit to that, then good things happen.